Hello and welcome to episode 3, season 2, episode 3 of Game Defined. Quite a special episode. Will, what do you think?
Yes, this one I've been looking forward to it happening.
Yeah. We've been trying to get someone on the podcast for quite some time now, and
He has the
Comic
honor
Con.
of being the first guest of GD.
Yes, we'll send him a plaque or some commemorative medal. Anyway, we've got Juan with us for this episode. He is representing Comic Con Malta, which, as you guys have heard or seen most probably on the page, that we will be attending Comic Con, not as guests, but we will be actually there. We will have a table, so pass by, say hello, especially if you want to be in the chance of winning a game. We're going to have a lottery. More details about that will be posted on our Facebook. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you guys are going to find us over there.
Yeah.
Probably continuing our session of Red Dead Redemption because
exactly.
It's a really slow start, but we'll talk about that later. As David said, we have a raffle for winning any game of your choice, thanks to Game Breaker.
Exactly.
And we're just going to be there chill. I'm probably taking some photos of all the stuff that's happening over there myself as Game Defined. Don't worry, Juan, I'm not taking your job. You are the official photographer. In fact, you should, I think you can introduce yourself now. It's like what you do and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure. So, hi all. My name's Juan. I am part of Forget Comics. We are the organizers of the Malta Comic Con. Basically, just for those people who don't know what Comic Con is, it's basically a 2-day event where there is exhibitions, workshops, talks, Q&As, artists from big comic book companies, even actors, voice actors, and gaming.
There's quite a lot happening, in fact.
Yeah.
And it's always crowded. I remember going in last year and I wasted some time at the board game section for sure. Had a friend of mine in the artist section also, and there was I keep forgetting his name, but there was one of the artists of the concept artists of Game of Thrones last year.
Yes.
Who ended up drawing my girlfriend.
Your girlfriend, yeah.
And called her a mutant scientist.
Thing to note, the location, it's not the same as last year, right? This year's going to be at the MFCC.
In Taali, yes.
Yeah.
This year is going to be our 10th anniversary, which is...
Happy birthday to...
It all started 10 years ago, as I was saying. At first, it wasn't called Malta Comic Con for the first event. If you look through the posters history and all the photographs from all past years, you see that Comic Cons literally started from 2009, but it actually started in 2008 with as the name The Big Bang. It's like the theme song of Big Bang Theory. It all started with the Big Bang.
All right, cool.
It was kind of what was the inspiration for just the Big Bang name? Just something big is happening, or just?
It was. It's at first I wasn't part of the whole crew.
Okay.
Okay.
I took part 9 years ago, and I will get to that later.
Mm-hmm.
It all started with 4 of the crew members. They decided to do some event together to boost the pop culture scene in Malta, because at that time
nothing
was happening. There was quite a few people knowing for example, what comics was, like graphic novels and all those sort of things.
Probably you could say it was sort of a niche at that time.
Yeah. Nobody knew in Malta. What they actually knew from their side was what they saw on local television from like Italia Uno, for example. A lot of people have seen like Italian animes, like dubbed Italian animes.
Dubbed Italian,
Oh,
exactly.
guilty as
Like
charged.
Uomo Tigre.
Yeah.
And that was the
Tiger.
artist who died recently of Uomo Tigre.
Sorry?
That was the artist who died recently of Uomo Tigre.
Yes, of course. A few days ago.
Ah.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
It's good,
Very.
yeah.
And then it's big for the first like Comic Con. More artists. They began getting more artists like from abroad, and till this day we grown a lot. From
Yeah, it's really
personal
expanded. I mean, my first Comic Con, for example, I don't know about you, Dave, but for me it was when it was happening at the St. James in Valletta.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was still kind of more local, and then there was a section dedicated to the foreigners most of the times.
Yeah.
As
In
well.
fact, half of the Comic Con, apart from we have guests which are coming from abroad, we have a huge selection of local artists and creators in Malta, which are using like the Comic Con as like a creativity hub to boost themselves. In some way
Yeah,
or
that's
another.
really important for them. Because the art as it is isn't really still a strong point here in Malta, let's call it that. So,
In fact, one thing to mention,
Mhm.
one of the guests this year who will be coming from abroad actually kickstarted her like career, as you can say, from Comic Con itself. She was like an illustrator and an artist at that time when it all started. She got known by foreign artists and
wow.
big companies, and till this day she's working with Cartoon Network as an illustrator.
Ah,
Okay.
yeah, I know who you're talking
Yeah.
about. Actually, Daniela, right?
Yes, Daniela.
Yes. Now that
So-
is actually something I did know, though, that she kickstarted her career from Comic Con, and that
Comic-Con,
gave her that boost. That's really
Yeah.
amazing. No, but she's a cool person because I've tried doing game jams with her, with some of our friends together. Like they all knew each other, and I got to know her from there. And she was like an artist for some of the games we tried doing in these weekend game jams, sort of. In fact, she also
Cool.
contributed her art in some board games done in these weekend game jams. But yeah, that is actually really amazing to hear. That's awesome that something local gave her that boost.
Yeah,
Exactly.
there are a lot of people who kickstarted their career like from, because they meet when you're at Comic Con, you don't just exhibit your work, you meet with other people from different like publishing companies like Marvel, DC, and
Whoa.
you can get like a total boost. Even
It's an
if, for
excuse to
example,
network.
yeah, it's a way to meet with other people,
And get the exposure that you need, sort of, to grow as an artist more than anything.
yeah, and even inspiration wise.
Cool.
You can get, as I said, kickstarted from it if you are willing to do so.
Yep, definitely. So let's talk about this year. So we mentioned that this year is the 10-year anniversary.
Exactly.
There's going to be, or I think you can pre-order it, or it's going to be for sale at the Comic Con, but there's going to be this special scrapbook with artists' illustrations and
Yes,
that sort.
This year we worked up on an art book, which we contacted past guests and even local creators in Malta who do a piece, and we're going to launch an art book this year, and which has a selection of, if I believe so, over like 40 or 50 artworks by
Nice.
different artists.
Very nice. And are there going to be any special guests this year or surprises?
Yeah, there is a lot of like special guests. Depend on every category. For example, like tabletop gaming, there's going to be Jeff Richard, who is a creative director for Chaosm. I don't know if I've translated that word. Who is going to game master some games at Comic Con
Oh, that's awesome.
with Wars,
Nice.
and I don't know if this is going to be aired before, but at this moment there is a raffle done by Wars, which you can actually be a player in that game.
A player
as
in
well.
Cool. That's cool.
There is a lot of stuff. For example, one of he's an artist, but not like a drawing type thing. We were going to have Brian Moore, who is a sculpturist. I don't know.
A sculptor.
A sculptor, yeah, who sculpted the infamous like Star Wars character of Darth Vader.
Ooh,
from the films.
Really
nice.
cool.
We're going to have a drawing artist, Midori Harada, who is famous for Pokemon card illustrations. So if you have any Pokemon cards laying around, make sure
That you want signed.
go and check.
Yeah,
Go and check.
I need to find my season 1 cards then. Mm.
Also, we're going to have Mark Ryan, who is, some people know him as the voice of Bumblebee, and some others know him as Mr. Gates in Black Sails.
Really?
Yes.
Oh yes.
You're
I've watched
excited for
Black
that
Sails.
then,
I
Dave.
love that series. That's cool. Yes, I'll definitely try and get his signature or his autograph.
As I mentioned as well, I mentioned Yalla as well before. And a lot more. I cannot mention them all one by one, but there's going to be a lot of guests who are new and who are like guests you've met before in previous Comic Cons as well. So it's nice to see them again this year.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. My first time to Comic Con was last year, so it's all pretty new to me. But I was very impressed by how much talent there is and the diversity.
Yeah.
Because you hear Comic Con, so you say it's a place where you can go and only see stuff related to comics, but it's not really just that. There are so many other stuff. I mean, we're a gaming podcast, and we're gonna be there in the gaming section. There were people playing Tekken. There were
the Nintendo group also.
The Nintendo group. There were the board games that you mentioned already. There's so much stuff to do and see that if you like anything related to games, comics, whatever, you'll definitely find something to enjoy. Something that I found, which I didn't expect to find. You remember these, because you get these vendors selling these odd toys. There was a guy, there was a table selling like Japanese drinks and these fast food, packet food, all from Japan and all that. But something that impressed me was I found this guy selling these, €1, €2 toys. And he had these old, now keep in mind there's a 10-year gap between us and you. These old foam airplanes. You remember those foam airplanes?
Yes.
And I was so amazed. In fact, he had like 5. I bought them all. Like, give me.
And I think the only place you can find them apart from him is like in a museum, in a game toy museum in Gozo, I think. Because I think you can still find them there.
Cool.
To be sold.
And I was gonna make sure to take care of mine. I know I stored them, not stored them anyway. They're in my cabinet of
stashed away until you get your
memorabilia stuff. So I'll make sure to take very good care of them. I think
that's true. I mean, for me, I just enjoy seeing that there's one shop also dedicated to the Japanese sweets and snacks.
Yeah.
I don't know how many bottles of that pop soda I ended up buying from Japan.
Ramune.
Yes. Holy crap. I'm like, okay, I haven't tried this flavor yet. Now for the next one. Now the next one. It's addictive.
And as I was saying, there is a lot of stuff happening this year. This year we're going to have an area where there is, I don't know if you heard them, they're called mercs, which they're like real life medieval weapon and armor.
Okay.
They're going to have like a fighting arena for everyone who's hosting like a sword fight if you want to try it out.
Like that medieval MMA that they were advertising lately.
It's like a sort of not LARP. They have like LARPing when they're going abroad, but it's like you're going into a small battle, like it's like sort of fencing type thing.
Yeah.
But like in a medieval theme.
Okay.
Cool. We're going to also have. There's going to be an escape room, and a convention as well.
Oh, nice. Maybe for the first time, actually try an escape room because I haven't done one yet.
No, not even me. We'll have to find someone to take care of our table and try it out.
And we're going to have a lot of workshops for kids this year. One workshop which is going to be like kickstarted this year is going to be becoming a superhero workshop for the kids, which these kids can learn on how to do like a small costume and be the superhero they want to be.
So that's awesome. An introduction to cosplay. That's amazing stuff. Like that's the introduction to something that's also been niche and now slowly growing and people becoming more confident in doing that.
Cosplay is growing a lot. People are getting to know this genre of costume making, and a lot of people are getting trying to make their new a new costume every year, or even make their very first costume.
Because that's the thing that a lot of people don't appreciate about cosplay, that they don't just buy a costume and wear it for the event. They actually make everything or most of it from scratch, and there's a lot of work that goes into that.
Yeah, and speaking to some of my friends who are cosplayers, they actually start working on their costume the day after Comic Con is finished. So it's like one
literally
year,
a whole year.
Yeah, because it's hard, for example, to come up with an idea, a character. What fabric are you going to buy if it has any sort of armor? It's a lot of stuff. Time and dedication is put into these work.
Cool, that's very good.
As I mentioned, also there's going to be like the gaming area, which you're going to be part of as well.
Yep.
From our side, like Wicked Comic side, we're going to have like a PlayStation 4 like gaming area, which they're going to be like a Tekken tournament. There's going to be like a Nintendo gaming area as well, a retro gaming area. If you're interested into playing some retro games.
Oh, yes, definitely. I would.
This year, what we're going to have, which is not new, it already happened like before, but this year is going to be boosted a bit. We're going to have like a VR stand area where you can actually play VR games.
Nice. I'll definitely
David might end up getting hooked on that again.
I'll definitely have to see that, because the last time we went to an event,
it was the Quickfire.
Yeah, it was the Quickfire event. They had this VR, they had the Oculus, and I tried out Hot Shots. Is it called?
Oh, Super Hot.
Super Hot. Where you're literally like grabbing guns, shooting people, and I was like trying it out, and then suddenly the guy who was taking care of it came up to me and told me, David, give some other people the chance to try it out. And I'm like, of course. I didn't notice like half an hour had passed. In my head it was like 5 minutes, but anyway, I need to make sure I don't get lost in that again.
Yeah, when you experience VR for the first time, you get lost in the immersion of it.
It is.
And even
so
you have
immersive.
to be aware of your surroundings as well. Because the very first time I tried VR, there was like a boxing game thing, and I fist punched a guy who was in front of me.
That felt real.
Who was holding the cables for the VR headset thing.
He's going out of his way to help you, and you thank him with your fist.
Thank you. Cool. From our end, at our stand, we're going to have we're gonna bring, hopefully, now we're gonna get the PS4 definitely. We're working on getting another console as well. It's still a bit hazy. We still got some question marks, but yeah, definitely. With what you mentioned as well, people will be able to try out new games. If people haven't tried out Spider-Man, people maybe who have been living under a rock or been too busy and haven't tried out Spider-Man, we're gonna have that game available there.
Yeah, Spider-Man, maybe
Spider-Man, Red
obviously,
Dead.
maybe also Red Dead, obviously, right
Yep.
now.
Maybe we might get God of War as well. So it's going to be mostly single player games. But yeah, it sounds very exciting. There's going to be a lot of stuff. It's going to be hard for me just to stick to our table.
No, that's true. At the
Then-
same time, I'm
And that's the
nervous.
thing about Comic Con. There is a lot of stuff happening around that. Some people say they want more days just to go around everything.
Mhm.
And
Hey,
now,
you never know in the future. Hey, the big Comic Cons in America, like in San Francisco, they're not just a weekend, right? They're more than 2 days. So you
Yeah,
never know
months.
what one day in the
Yeah.
future how good, how popular it might get, and maybe increase the days.
Hopefully,
Yeah, definitely.
hopefully, in the near future,
Who knows?
Comic Con will be bigger than it already is, and
Yeah.
there will be more days added to the event itself.
Yeah, it always depends. I mean, sometimes you end up like trying to convince the people to stay there longer, so a weekend's already a thing. Like you're happy that these foreign artists coming in to
Yeah.
actually exhibit their work and having the time to speak to everyone who's visiting there.
Yeah.
I mean, like for example, TwitchCon is happening at the moment this weekend. It's a weekend, but then obviously if you're going to compare it to something like Gamescom, Gamescom is big.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
Comic Con's already amazing that we have something like Comic Con happening next weekend.
Yeah.
So staying on the theme of games, or moving maybe a bit away from Comic Con, are you an avid gamer, Juan?
I'm not. I am a gamer, not like playing like 24/7, like professional wise, or
Yeah.
No, not even us.
but I do like, for example, like first-person shooter games, which for me is like the genre which I'm more interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Like Call of Duty, Battlefield, PUBG, H1Z1. There is even Fortnite.
Yeah,
which
definitely. Everyone's gotten on the Fortnite train, apparently. It's become this massive culture thing where you get even football players celebrating the goals and doing one of the dances of Fortnite dance. But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Like single player titles, have you ever played any like big titles like, I don't know, Grand Theft Auto, or maybe the latest
Yeah,
God of War?
I played Grand Theft Auto before. I finished it with like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I was playing avidly online as well in some time, but then you come at a point where you're playing too much on a game that you have to stop and actually
Yeah.
live life.
Exactly.
There's the sun. The sky is blue.
It's the constant challenge of balancing social life with game, with your hobby, gaming. Because I say gaming in a very general term, not just professional gaming. To me, gaming is playing
Is
the
it-
game and enjoying it.
Is it the gaming part of your life that got you interested into actually being part of Comic Con and stuff like that, or thinking
Not
about
that
it?
much. I started with taking part in Comic Con 9 years ago. I actually how it came up is I attended my first convention. I was like 11 years old, 12 years old at that time.
So at that time you're
Um,
like, oh, this is all amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
And how it actually happened was I actually bought my ticket for like everybody else, and I started helping because there were friends who going around, and I started helping from this. So it's all not kickstarted, like began from that
Yeah.
day. And then the next year I decided to help them as a helper, going around helping with artists, tables, stands, and different things. And then like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, which I began getting more more work into the committee.
Yeah, more involved than just
Yeah,
helping out for the weekend.
I helped with different events. Even for example, my role right now with Wicked Comics is it's like a PRO, techie dude, which manages like the social media side of the event itself.
Keeping everyone updated online.
Yeah.
Like posting photos of what happened previously. Like, hey, this is going to be happening soon. Come buy tickets.
Yeah.
So you're the tech guy, the photographer also.
I'm not actually the official photographer, because there are other photographers. I'm not a photographer for Comic Con, but
you'd like to take just the same whilst you're there, might as well.
Yeah,
because you can use this for social media.
Yeah, but there are official photographers on that day.
All right.
I also as I was saying, Comic Con is not just those 2 days. It's planning all year round, 365.
Yeah.
Well,
24
probably
hours.
you guys will be like, as soon as it finished, you just have that small break and then you start already planning for next
For
year.
the next one.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
everything culminates in those 2 days. All the hard work, a year's work, all comes down to 2 days.
Come to think of it, like everybody is usually sick after those days, because a lot of work have happened.
Yeah.
People are overstressed. That everything is going to need to be.
Everything needs to be done right, perfect, hoping nothing goes wrong, right? It's all the worrying that goes into organizing such a big event.
Yeah.
Especially with the week fast approaching now. The last week.
Yeah. Last 5 to this time, exactly. Today week will be there.
Yeah, today week.
Boom, boom, boom.
So just to maybe, I think we can close off Comic Con, right?
Yes.
For
now. The event will be held, correct me if I'm wrong, 3rd and 4th, right?
Yes.
Of
it's
November?
going to be happen. Yeah, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday from 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. and Sunday from 11 a.m. till 7 p.m. at Mapsisita Ali.
Cool.
Probably we're not even going to see that time fly. Everyone's going to be so busy.
Yes, of course, definitely.
Nah, we're looking forward.
Definitely.
And people can still go buy the tickets for the event online, I'm assuming, on the website.
At the moment, you can go on comictickets.com and purchase your tickets from there. I don't know when this is going to be aired, but at this moment we have a superhero ticket, which is like a special ticket for this year, which is €50. You're going to have like 2-day passes, a Comic Con T-shirt, some goodies, which a fast pass if I'm aware of.
Just
also
like a single day ticket.
No, 2 days. 2-day ticket.
Okay.
Full 2-day ticket. Yeah.
If you go onto the website, you can see all the details listed. Also, if you'd like, we launched a new app this year, which has it's a companion app, which has all the information you need to know about Comic Con if it's your first time.
Yep.
And you can find it in Google Play Store and App Store.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I downloaded it myself as soon as Fabio started promoting it heavily on his FB page.
Yeah, exactly. We went to the meeting
who has
a few
it?
weeks ago.
Yep, so cool. You can grab the tickets online. There's the Facebook there. There's the mobile app you can grab also, and get yourselves all prepared for it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Looking forward for next week.
Yeah. All right. Move on to giving out our opinions about Red Dead Redemption and Spider-Man post-mortem, Will?
Yeah, we can actually. So let me just get rid of Spider-Man out of the way.
Yeah.
And so I haven't. I'm close to finishing it. I still haven't finished it as much yet because I do get a bit lost on being a bit of a completionist with the whole open world.
Chasing pigeons.
Chasing pigeons, exactly. Spider-Man's job is chasing pigeons. And collecting. I don't know how one guy can just afford like how many backpacks? Like 55 backpacks all
Yeah.
stored around New York.
Yeah. That's a lot of money to buy all those backpacks.
For a high school kid.
Yeah, exactly.
He was quite well off on island. Now, so I do feel bogged down by all the like the completionist side of things. Like, it's there's the open world part of things and lengthens the time that you're actually going to stay enjoying playing Spider-Man because you want to get the most out of it. Though the main story missions really do become more and more intense as time goes by. Like, it's really simple, straightforward story in the beginning, but then it escalates to certain levels where, things are going really hectic and can't really say much without spoiling anything, but shit really happens. And you feel the intensity of the mission every time you continue following the main storyline. Combat gets better as time goes by, as soon as you unlock all the abilities, the Spider-Man's equipment, with like the different types of shooters there are, the abilities of the suit. The abilities of the suit, I have to say, I'm still sticking to the first one I started off with.
Mhm.
The one where you regenerate your sort of focus,
Yeah.
your focus bar.
Gives you your health. The one
Now,
that-
either because I'm bad.
No, it's very helpful
it's-
even for me.
Yeah, and for example, I tried using the negative suit to have the negative shockwave ability, but I wasn't finding it as useful as I thought it would be in my mind. But when you upgrade your web shooters, the web shooters have a more significant effect, unlike the suit powers, in my opinion.
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, story is worth it. Side stories are a nice touch because they add extra plot to the game and even the secondary villains that you meet.
Yeah.
It's there, and then at least the game, I notice, gives you that sort of breather where you can do like the extra stuff of the open world, like collecting the backpacks, doing the research centers.
So you don't have to focus all the time on the main
instead,
story.
In fact, there are times where you don't see the primary mission objective. You just go around patrolling as Spider-Man, do your stuff. Like, okay. And like that, it lets you level up, so you're never coming down to a point where you're bogged down by people being overpowered or something. Like,
exactly.
the only time maybe you feel that you're overpowered is if you forget to upgrade, because you would have tagged up so many skill points and experience points and you haven't used them yet. But otherwise, no, Spider-Man is definitely something worth doing, and it's not heavy. Like, it's true that I mentioned the whole open world, like being the completionist sort of guy of going through the research centers, the crimes and stuff like that in every single sector of the world. But I don't feel that pressure that there's so much content. It doesn't feel long. It feels like with the main story and the side quests, there's a right amount of content and length, especially if you're the sort of busy guy and you always say, I won't play this game because it's an open world game. I think you still can give Spider-Man a try.
Exactly. And as you said, Will, the main story, it won't force you to do any side missions just for pure sake of leveling up. It's very, very, very well balanced. That is something that I cannot say about Assassin's Creed. Now, whilst Will was playing Spider-Man, I was playing Assassin's Creed. I was very skeptical. I was as I said before, I was a very, very, very big fan of Assassin's Creed, especially the first 4 games. And these past few years, to me, was nothing to write home about. But this last one, it's been called the best Assassin's Creed in quite a while, and I agree. I am loving it. to a point, I was contemplating not starting Red Dead just to finish off Assassin's Creed. But as I said before, the leveling system in Assassin's Creed, it to a point forces you
Yeah,
to
that does
do
bog you down.
side missions. So you just wait. Someone like me, Assassin's Creed, I wanted to sort of get the story done, get the main. I couldn't, which led me to not finishing it. Now I've picked up Red Dead, which most probably I won't ever finish Assassin's Creed. So we'll see. But overall, it's a much more colorful game than the previous Assassin's Creed, than Origins. It is much more immersive. It's a very nice game. Even the fact that to a point Assassins and Templars aren't really mentioned, at least I've gotten quite far in the game, and it's more, the story is revolved around the main character looking for his family, looking for his mother or his father. It's whilst in the background he's fighting the cult, which one can interpret as being the Templars. But yes, it is one of the best Assassin's Creeds in quite a while. Still not better than Brotherhood, but it's a step up. Especially the combat system, it's much more fluent, much more nicer. I think the spear is a bit overpowered because you can do everything with it.
I was going to say the same thing for daggers. Like if you have a good dagger, you just say spamming and the guy can't even...
Yes.
But I've seen people take the warrior routes in their talent tree and go with spears, so because you can knock back people.
No, I meant the spear, the actual spear you have instead of the blade. You know, Leonidas' spear.
Your stabby weapon.
Yes. Because I don't know how far you've gotten, but you get to upgrade
you
that.
paused me way. I haven't seen the cults, for example. The cults.
Okay. But yeah, even I've gone through the warrior route, so I'm upgrading most of the warrior part of him. The combat is very nice. It's very fluent. It's very flowing. It's quite.
My only qualm with the combat is that everyone all of a sudden just attacks you in one go. It's not like in the original Assassin's Creed where one guy comes after you, you parry, and then you kind of attack back, you do that damage, and then you follow up like that. Similar, like, you get a similar feel with Batman Arkham Asylum, for example. But you think you feel powerful doing so. But the combat does have a certain pressure. So if you use, I've heard people actually talk about using the stuff and going the warrior way because you can do that crowd control easier than if I, like me, doing the daggers. I was going the assassin way, for example, because it's easier to just go jump on someone and kind of overcome the level gap that the game has. Like, just because a guy is 2 levels higher than you, he already beats the shit out of you easily.
Yeah. That's why I thought that the Spear of Leonidas was a bit overpowered, because a guy who's 2 levels above you, if you assassinate him, like half his health is down, and this guy's already, it's like, you know,
run away,
hide, and then stab him again with the spear. It is a bit overpowered. But and you mentioned crowd control. Something which is really annoying about the game is the targeting system.
Oh yes.
Oh my god, you end up hitting villagers.
Locking a target does not help.
No. At all. And you end up hitting villagers. You change the target by mistake or just because you move the view. Then suddenly you start off fighting 2 people. Then you end up fighting the whole freaking village. And then the villagers who are unarmed pick up the arms of fallen soldiers, and suddenly they have a sword. They've become soldiers. It's a nightmare. It really is a nightmare.
Actually, you're mentioning that. I had one issue. I forgot how it happened exactly. It's with the first Spartan village, like after you leave the first island, the Kefalonia island.
Yeah.
I did bump into something. I don't know what and how. But I bumped into something with the horse. All of a sudden, the whole village turned against me.
Some
Like, what
sacred
did
stone.
I do wrong?
Some sacred
Did I
stone.
touch your chicken with my horse?
And that's another thing. They have killer chickens. The
Oh,
chickens are aggressive and they can kill. You can get killed by a chicken.
Inspired by Zelda.
Most probably it's just to keeping with the theme that in Origins you could have gotten killed by a hippo.
Oh, yes.
You're just getting killed by this random animal.
Oh, yes. You have any experience with Assassin's Creed 1?
Yeah, I played it before.
The first one, or?
No, I think till the game. Till I played them on back at the time when I had the PSP.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
So like the classical, but from there onwards, I'm still a little bit late to the collection of the game.
But the PSP gives me nostalgia in the sense I really enjoyed that console, the first one, not the Vita. I didn't use the Vita much.
No,
but I wasted so much time with it.
I think this year it got discontinued from Sony. They're not doing updates, like
no more support.
No more support from their end.
Okay.
RIP Vita 2018.
All right. I think we can close it off, right, Will? There's not much else. The updates for the month, we've covered them already.
Unless you want to give your initial also opinion on Red
yeah,
Dead.
Red
I mean, we're going
Dead.
to continue talking about it definitely the next time because the game has only been out yesterday.
Yeah. It took me quite a while to install the game. We were prepared for that.
So 100 gigs, right?
Sorry?
Yes.
It's over 100 gigs.
Yes. I had to remove most of my stuff from
I
my
had to
PS4.
delete like 2 games, and it's sort of weird when you open the box. Now you're used to like
seeing
the
one
PlayStation
CD.
games just being that one CD.
Yeah.
Then you open it and you find 2.
It's like...
I think what they should do from when the next generation of PlayStation and Xbox and everything, instead of doing like CDs, you can actually put in like a hard, like an external hard disk, which holds the game already installed. So you don't actually have to install the game. It's like a port. You can boot it up from there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how expensive it would be for the game developers, to be honest. Rather than putting everything on a CD, you have a hard disk. I think that's
similar like a game cartridge. It's similar like to a game cartridge, but you have like a mini hard disk instead.
Yeah, coincidentally, I was having this argument with a friend of mine on Facebook, regarding the whole installation thing, and I did bring up like what you said, Juan, the game cartridge, because this is still possible. Like this is happening with the Nintendo Switch. Exactly. You have the cartridges, you insert it into the console, and you're playing it, and you can play slightly big games like Zelda Breath of the Wild and Xenoblade Chronicles. Those are pretty large games, and all you have to do is just have the cartridge, and it's not even installed on the console.
Yeah.
But imagine if you had to do this for Red Dead Redemption. We're talking about having an SD card, maybe something like that, of maybe 128 gigs.
Yeah, but don't get not excited, because as in my perspective, as I mentioned earlier, with photography wise, as 1 terabyte SD cards are now a thing, so they can do something.
Actually, I thought a 128 gigabyte SD card would cost more, because I decided to give a look at Amazon, and an SD card is like 26 euros for 128 gigs.
Yeah. What I do recommend though is not getting the micro one, the small ones.
No.
The ones that you put on your phone, because when you're high processing a lot of data on these small cards, the adapter tend to burn easily, so you have to change new adapters. Even for example, with photography, even video, if you transfer a lot of data with these small cards, you can actually corrupt your everything you have.
Like even the hardware of your phone, probably.
not hardware, just the data you stored on this card
You just ruined the card. Oh,
as
wow.
high
I didn't know that
high
was...
capacity.
hmm But you need, like, for these games and stuff like that, you need those Class 10 SD cards, for example.
Yeah,
big
yeah,
ones.
the big ones.
But that's possible, because that's how they are of the Switch, like, that same form factor. It's slightly thicker, the cartridge, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's possible.
That's with tech with these days. They have if you could go to like a storage company, like for example like Kingston or
SanDisk,
SanDisk,
Samsung.
yeah, they have the technology to do these things already, but they're slowly making them. They're releasing them a bit by bit, as they don't know what will happen if they got released.
It's more like, I think, the idea of trying to lock the content inside the... I don't think should be that much of a problem, like keeping the data of the game inside, like, so that you don't pirate it or something for them.
Because it can't be
They have
edited
to
easily.
see the security side of things. But I mean, PS4 games aren't... No, but you can copy the Blu-ray disc anyway. We have Blu-ray writers and stuff.
Anyway.
But I agree with that notion of having this sort of option for the next generation of consoles, and I think Sony should think about it for the PS5.
Yeah,
definitely.
Who knows what will happen?
Or at least give us way bigger hard disks. Red Dead Redemption. What we're saying is, I mean, yes, had a
There isn't
massive
much that happened since
installation.
yesterday.
Sorry?
And I mean, unless you took the whole day off and played it from the morning till the end.
No, I played maybe a good 5 hours of it. I still am very excited about it. The game is massively big. There's so much stuff to do that after doing the tutorial and all that, I was a bit lost in what to do. But it did get off at a slow start, in my opinion.
It is slow in the beginning.
It is. I just wanted to get in there and start shooting people, you know. I'm a cowboy, move, I'll kill you, and I want to rob banks. You do get to rob a train at the beginning. But it's the
Until you
first
get to
2
that
hours, they're like, come on, get on with it, you know.
And I mean, so I admit that this is my first Red Dead. So I never played the one. I didn't play the original Red Dead Revolver also. But so I'm approaching this game with a fresh mind. So I don't have...
And I think what they should do with as a whole company, Rockstar Games, you can actually do like centuries after each other. For example, they start like with Red Dead Redemption, and the decisions you make on that game continues to the next era of games. For example, from like that cowboy side thing to, for example, like GTA, for example.
No, that's true. I mean, with GTA, you do see sometimes some of the old characters or like showing up in other like iterations. For example, you see some of the characters in GTA 4 and GTA 5.
Exactly.
For sure.
And in fact, even Red Dead Redemption 2, the first thing you do as part of the tutorial is you meet the old character of Red Dead Redemption 1.
John Marston.
So there is that continuity.
But, like, I mean, this is a prequel, so anything that you would have done in Red Dead Redemption 1, there's no effect.
Yeah, it's useless.
In fact, kind of, if people know how the first one ended, then then you realize that this is a prequel. But yeah, I found it a bit slow. I feel that they're trying as much as possible to add some sort of realism to the game. Like, because actions are slow. For example, if you want to open a chest and get items from the chest, you have to stay opening it. He does it slowly. You take the stuff one by one. It's not like you have an inventory system for the chest and you can just say take all. even when you're looting off people, I had moments where my protagonist was all the time moving side to the other sides just to bend down and be able to loot this guy's body. Like, it. And moving initially, since you're not being given the option much of running and stuff like that, I felt him a bit clunky, stuff like that. But I think I might not think about these as time goes by, as soon as I'm out of the tutorial.
Exactly, it's maybe just getting used to the actual gameplay. I think from my end as well, it could have been the fact that even from your end, we're suddenly playing
Red Dead after Odyssey and Odyssey
exactly
and Spider-Man.
Odyssey and Spider-Man, which both characters, they're quite fast paced, they're quite, even the gameplay is very light, very very quick, whilst Red Dead might be a bit slow, but we're just feeling it even
Probably,
slower.
like in Odyssey, I could just climb a cliff and go down, like, I can kill you now, oh, let me go.
And in Red Dead you can
again.
barely jump. Exactly.
Nah,
Cool.
I'll give it more a chance.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm ready
No,
for
we'll do a whole
It's too
podcast even after Comic Con. Most probably we'll link them in. Going forward, also we should be doing a podcast with Ashley, who's also going to be at
yes.
Ashley.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Exactly, who's going to be at Comic Con as well. So we'll hopefully meet him there. Yeah.
Hi Ashley, if you're hearing this.
Thanks for the mention. Anyway, I think we can close it off, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Now, after half an hour.
we've stolen one for over 50 minutes now. You've been our prisoner.
Thank you very much for coming to the show.
Yeah, it was really great to have you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Always
it's been
welcome.
lovely. You are officially our honorary first guest of Game Defined.
Exactly.
Thanks.
Looking forward to see you there at the event. Wish you and all the other organizers all the best, all good luck. I'm sure it will be a very good event.
Yeah, I will bug you all over there.
But yeah, definitely. Cheers. Follow us on the usual, as we always say this: Facebook, Instagram, SoundCloud, YouTube, and come to Comic Con.
Can be found on Facebook.
Come meet us. Get the chance to win a game. Our friends at Game Breaker will be offering a prize where you can literally just go to the shop and choose a standard game, be it PC, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, whatever you want. Yeah. So just come over to the table and get more details about the tombola. Cheers and thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.